Hello, everybody. I see REKT people. I couldn't help it. Tonight. It was a perfect situation. Got the full moon blooming. We have a crypto market bleeding. We have regular markets bleeding. It's all fugly, but it's glorious. If you guys got cash on the side, you could DCA in and get a nice position. But tonight, we got a guest coming in that's going to help straighten all this out for you. I'm not going to name names until they show up, but I'm happy to have them here. It's going to be an exciting night. But first, let's go through and check out what's going on with the PulseChain ecosystem because holy crap, look what we got here. PLS 301207, PulseX 404955, 50% below the SAC rate. The PLS is 20% above the SAC rate. INCs at 2436, HEX 0.0147, EHEX 0.0122, Hedron 605328. And it just keeps bleeding, man. Everything's bleeding. PP token 502975. That's up 2% today. Okay, so PP's going up. Texan 50786, down 21% today. Poly 602029. What in the hell? Down 42% today. That's absolutely disgusting. Just wanted to show you guys that first. Our guest has arrived. I've been following this man for years, over the last couple of years, since probably when he first got into HEX. That had to be early 2021 or late 2020. This man tells it like it is. I don't know if he identifies as any particular group, but when I hear him talk, I hear someone similar to myself, an anarcho-capitalist. So without further ado, I bring Whales Only to the stream to help straighten you all kids out.
Appreciate that, brother. And you'd be surprised to know I actually talked to your brother.
Oh, yeah.
Frequently. And it's interesting because, I mean, I'm in between both of you guys in a lot of ways, right? Which is weird, but...
And my mom is watching.
Salute to the entire fam, right? Because we're here to help each other come up from under. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to realize that it really requires every person's participation and understanding of somebody else's situation to be able to help them cross that bridge. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where everybody wants to go across the bridge, but everybody's scared to go across that bridge.
Absolutely. I have to say, you talk more to my brother than I talk to my brother.
Well, you know how that goes, man. I got a sister. I know how it goes, bro. You know, that's when you grow up with somebody and everything is one way versus another. Mm-hmm. It's impossible to see what somebody else sees. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's only those excruciating circumstances that can give people a similar point of view sometimes, unfortunately. And it's hard.
Frankly, I just can't wait till he retires.
Yeah.
We won't talk too much about what he does, but I want my brother retired so he can join the Big Mouths Club.
Correct. Right. Which is impossible, you know, given the situation. But that's another reason why I do what I do. Mm-hmm. I already come from that world. I know exactly what's going on. There's a reason I operate how I operate. I move how I move. I went from one belly of the beast into another. Not many people can sit here and tell me anything that I don't already know. And what do? I go out of my way to show and prove. Talking is not sufficient in our world. And even so, it's not sufficient, even though we show improve. And that's why a lot of people get left behind. They don't want to take information that's given with facts in a way where they can go and say, you know what, let me go actually find out what this guy's talking about.
It's
that's
hard.
All it takes.
I mean, look. I've lost. First, I lost my. Going way back. I lost my Pinterest account. They banned me there a long time ago, like 3 years ago. Then I got banned on Facebook, perma ban. Then I got banned on LinkedIn, but they let me back. You know, I had to show them my slave ID, and they let me back on. And now I'm banned with my Twitter account, and I had to give up and just use
I saw account. That was
man. They didn't even tell me why.
At least you had one.
Yeah, well.
Right. Well,
I had that backup that was built since 2012.
Right. And I mean, at least you had that, because the thing about it is, and I honestly don't know how this is not visible to people, because it happens to enough people where you have to wonder how aloof somebody has to choose to be to not see what's going on. And the messed up thing is that it doesn't require many, it doesn't really require for you to go that far off the ledge to not realize that you're not seeing what you think you are. Because it's kind of a wacko world. I mean, you live in Panama, bro. I mean, you're not from Panama.
No, I'm not. But it's kind of funny because you're living in the zoo, and I'm on the outside looking in the zoo, and I just think, wow,
that's right.
That's some crazy shit going on back home.
That's right. Yeah, but you know what it is for me, and I'm always going to stand firm on this. I'm not even from the U.S. My family's from the Dominican Republic. I'm not even like that. My traditions and all that shit, it's not American, as far as the average American is concerned. I'm from fucking New York City and the Bronx. Shit is not American. There's nothing American about that. Period. That's a whole nother world. And nobody knows what the fuck that is unless they're from there. Right? And that's just something people don't understand, because unless they're from a city, they don't fucking know. Being from somewhere else in America does not qualify you to know. You don't know. It's just like me saying what the fuck California is like. I don't know shit. I just know what I know from outsiders. I don't know anything else. Right? And what I do know is that people cannot pretend to think they can run away from a problem that, guess what, has no fucking walls. No matter where you go in this country, in this realm, you are gonna fucking confront the same nonsense that is happening in the US, Germany, wherever the fuck have you. There is no escaping the leeches, the octopuses, whatever, the squids.
Yeah, we got it here too. We got it.
Yeah, of course. Got it here too, in my country. So what the fuck does that mean? That means that no matter where you are, no matter where you're going, no matter what you think you're escaping, you are going to have to man the fuck up, woman the fuck up, and stand up for your rights. Because guess what? If you're not looking outside, them people are not slowing the fuck down. Yeah.
They're not. So we gotta. You should have seen me on Sunday. You would have left. You would have. We were going off. We had a great group. A bunch of gray hairs were sitting around having dinner way out in the beach area. And we're over there showing each other what bangs we're buying. Talk about what farmland we're buying, so we all can check out. So we could all have like houses on the farmland type of stuff. Sure. And we're like, hey, we're preparing ahead of time, and because we live in a country that is a little bit more open, and that all we have is a police force, and it's a neutral country, so it's like we can get away with more here, and I think it bides us some time, and that's what I'm hoping for.
For sure, because at the end of the day, all we can really try to do, regardless of where we're at, is try to prepare for what we think might be coming, because it's hard to know, right? Exactly, but we know. We see they're trying to strip people from the ability to grow food, from the ability to have water, from the ability to do a million things that, you got to be out your mind to think that's even okay. Gas stoves. You name it.
I saw the stuff in New York City. I just saw it today about the gas stoves.
Look, man, It's just, and people aren't having it. They're like, fuck you, you know? So the question becomes, when are you, the viewer, gonna start standing the fuck up? Because it's not gonna stop because I'm saying something. No, I don't matter. We collectively must stand the fuck up.
Absolutely.
It's not optional. You can run wherever you want. You can run. But your ass still gotta fucking stand up. Sorry.
Got chills.
It is what it is, man.
Oh my God. So the MINSA, which is the Department of Health here in Panama, just put out this thing saying, oh my God, we're having a bounce back in the thing that was happening in 2021, 2020, 2022.
You know, they're trying to, they're dying to get people back on lock, bro.
They
can't figure out how to do it.
People put their masks back on. They're walking around with their masks. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? They're still falling for it. And, and they're like, come get your 5th booster. And I'm like, oh my God.
The ups. See, this is the fucked up thing. There's so much upside in that. Because what does that do? It clears the path for those of us that know better. Because those morons are dying off, and it sounds cruel, but guess what? They're doing the job we need done. Because at the end of the day, we cannot afford these NPCs in the way anymore. We can't. And guess what? There's NPCs on both sides of the line. So I don't want people thinking that we don't have NPCs on this side, assuming or dreaming that they're anarchists. They don't even know what the fuck the word means.
Mm-hmm. No, they have this idea that they think of just the very, very far left.
They think it's some Mad Max shit.
Yeah, that's not.
And it's not.
Have to be that way.
It's not that way. It's not that way.
Without rulers. Rulers.
It's not that it doesn't have to be that way, Randy. It is not that way. Because guess what? At the end of the day, somebody's going to still be there to check your fucking ass when you step out of line. That's reality. And that's what the fuck growing up in a city is. Like New York City, where your actions have motherfucking consequences on the spot. So when I see motherfuckers acting a fool online, I just chuckle. Because we all know in real time they ain't doing a motherfucking thing. Because they're the ones that are running.
There's a story when I was a kid. I grew up in the inner city, Rochester. It's not as rough as where you're from.
It's still the same thing.
Yeah, it's still the same thing. Mm-hmm. I grew up with all Dominicans, Puerto Ricans,
exactly.
inner city. Mm-hmm. And one day I was going through my best friend Mike. He's a Jewish kid. He's always here in the chat. We were riding our bikes and we decided to cut through the woods to get back to our street.
Sure.
And as we're going through the woods, I must have been like 8 or 9. And I remember this group of kids just grabbed us. It wasn't even just any race. It was a mixed race. There's older kids, just up to no good. They're probably 16, 17, and we were 8 or 9, right? This one kid grabbed me and he put this dirty needle up to my eye. Right. And he's like, you ever come through here again, I'm gonna stick this in your eye. And I'm like,
freaking dirty needle. Jesus
I'm like,
Christ.
this is some crazy stuff, and I'm a kid. I'm like, why do I have to deal with this? People that have never had to deal with stuff like that, they don't have any
can't grasp that
struggles in life.
Yeah, they can't even grasp that something like that is even possible.
Yeah, it's out of control, man. I never forget it because that was one of the first times in my life I was genuinely scared.
For sure. It doesn't make any sense. That is scary. Why would somebody just put a needle in your eye? Like, hey, I'm gonna stick this in you to come through here. It doesn't make no sense.
No.
None.
We're kids.
But this is the kind of stuff people in America have to deal with because of this notion of some random person there to save you. Ain't nobody there to save your fucking ass.
No.
That's exactly why 911 exists, to get people to think, and police to get people to think that there's going to be somebody there to save them. But guess what? You're calling them after you get fucked up. Not before, not during.
You better be ready. Better be prepared.
100%. And people like to pretend that they don't have to be. And it happens in all manner of forms, right? It happens to people financially. It happens to people in all ways. You don't prepare for what could be. I mean, we live in a world where there is nobody that's going to defend you unless it's your parents. Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And people do not even bother to prepare their kids for when the parents, are no longer around to protect them. They shelter them, they coddle them, they completely fail them. Period. And I've seen this time and time again, especially when I was in the military. Oh, you see schmuck after schmuck that thinks they have a clue. It's just like crypto, in fact.
Use
Just
the
like
word
the
schmuck.
yeah, just like the clowns you see coming up in crypto that think they got a clue.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't.
Dude, can I tell you? I do this a lot, man. I segue a lot. I was
Sure.
in Poland. We were in Krakow, Poland, for a crypto event, and on every corner it was the cigarette schmuck. You know, that's where the word comes from. It's the store. It's just like a mini store. They call it the schmuck.
That's funny.
Because you know, a lot of the Jews in New York, where you get the Yiddish from, they came from Eastern Europe.
Yeah. Of course,
or Central Europe.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can't be from New York and not know any Yiddish.
Yeah, exactly. Even Western New York, where I'm from.
Yeah,
there's so many Jews where I'm from.
Just the Northeast, I would think. I mean, it's just common lingo, common parlance up there. Yeah. So for sure. But that's what makes where we come from different. You know, we're all, regardless of race, color, whatever, like that's fabricated. Everybody goes through the same things up here. There is no division of people. Everybody up here lives the same type of life. That's why everybody is up here chasing the same things.
Hey, look, there's my best friend. He's like, I remember
hey,
that, bro.
What's
with
up,
the needle.
Man?
He was there for the
needle. He was there.
He was there for the needle.
It's crazy, man. But that's life.
Yeah. It's tough times, man. And people, I get into arguments with my wife. You know, everyone who's married knows what I'm talking about. And one of the struggles I have with my wife is that she's never really had it difficult. You know, she doesn't come from a rich family, but she's never had it difficult.
Right. It's a different world back then.
Yeah.
In our countries.
5 brothers and sisters. They had a big family. Lots of aunts and uncles. She had some wealthy aunts.
Nothing but protection.
Yeah, so she had all this protection around her, and when I tell her, you know, like I slept on a floor for a while, I've done stuff. I've had to start over multiple times. I lost my jobs. When I got out of the Navy, I didn't know who I was. It took me many years to get on my feet because living in a socialist system for 7 years.
Don't gotta tell me, brother. I'm just now getting on my feet, so to speak, from the same experience. It's hard.
It's a mental thing. It's a whole shift. You know, it took me 10 years. And when I moved to Panama, when I was forced, I didn't have my family to help me. I didn't have anybody there to pick me up. I said, you know what? I am here. I'm going to find a way to survive. And I did it. I absolutely did it, man.
You're still here. You're still there.
Wow, man. I look back.
View behind you.
Yeah. This is beautiful. And I did it. I'm so proud of myself because I know how hard I struggled, and I want that for other people too. I want people to experience it.
It's to want that for others is hard because others have to want it just as bad, and that it's the toughest thing to get people to realize. How hard is it to accomplish something that you have no idea how to accomplish? I mean, you literally have no choice but to take it day by day.
I mean, it's sad that I can't believe people don't know. I want to help people and pull them up by their bootstraps and all that. We do our best. I know you do. You go out and you talk as much as you can on the streams, and I'm streaming 5 nights a week and writing blog posts. And I've got my Patreon. I'm doing all these things. But sometimes it feels like, man, dude, these people aren't listening. Yeah, and it's very frustrating. It's hard, yeah. Right now, the one thing. Okay, let's before we segue into because the real markets out there are fucked. And,
yeah. They're clueless, bro. They're so clueless. Oh my god, I got stories about. We can talk. Let's get into that. Yeah, let's go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. Before we get into that, I want to discuss what's going, because there's a lot of people in here that care about the crypto side. Sure. And I've been telling people since the Shemitah series that I did, we're still in the Jubilee year. Whether or not you care about the Jewish religion, they follow these simple cycles.
But hold on, Andy. What are capital flows telling you?
Well, I don't even look at those things.
Well, I just look at the grand cycle. Tell by prices. They're not buying. So you're right.
So we've got until Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah, everything's on sale up until Rosh Hashanah.
But everything's still on sale.
You better start preparing.
Exactly.
Post Rosh Hashanah, they're coming back in.
And how far is Rosh Hashanah away?
September, mid-September.
What? So that's what? You motherfuckers got 4 months.
Fire sale for 4 more months.
4 more months. And here's the thing. What year is this? 2023 minus 7 is 16.
Well, the last Shemitah it ended in September, but we have the first year of the last year it's a 50-year cycle called the Jubilee year. The last Jubilee year was 1973 when we went off the gold standard and we went to the fiat standard.
Do you remember the bear market of the 70s? Like, do you remember what those markets were like? Yeah.
How bad it was? I'm old enough. It was. I remember we didn't have much. My grandparents, we got that big block of cheese. We got the powdered milk. Yo, we were poor.
Yeah. But that's what it was. That's why I'm laughing, because they were still giving us that when I was coming up.
Yeah, man.
Big block of cheese.
It was bad in the 70s. So I mean, it could keep going that way. But this is the year that we transition away from fiat
from that
to the CBDCs. And
they're going to push that. I don't think they're going to succeed.
Well, it's announced July 5th or July 3rd. I think my birthday's July 5th, but I think it's either the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th that they're launching the CBDC.
Sure. But what does that mean exactly? That's the question. Nobody really knows. But to switch to what?
To the Fed now Cash App / PayPal card.
But what exactly? But how does that change in terms of, my question is, but the question what I want people to think about is, or what people need to think about is, how does that actually change the system itself? Because what they're trying to say is one thing. It's just like what they did in 1971. They'll tell you one thing, but it's something else. And this is what people need. This is why I've been railing so hard for people to understand they need to be in crypto. It's not optional anymore.
No, it's not optional. It's your last chance.
It is literally. And I'm here talking to my schmuck friends that work on Wall Street, that get the 6-figure jobs with the big bonuses and all that I opted out of. I didn't give a fuck about none of that because I did the math. Before I finished college, I was lucky enough to do the math and understand that dollars don't fucking matter.
It's really sad that we used to work for him.
Yep.
I don't work for him anymore.
Not anymore. But only until that thing is so hard for people to understand. I've been talking about that for years, and people still can't really wrap their head around that. Even in crypto, they cannot, because they're too busy thinking about how many X's, how many this, how many that. Bitch, you need to get crypto and stop worrying about a failing currency. That's what you need to be doing. And people do not want to respect that. But guess what? They're going to be forced to. And people like us, will just be laughing.
We're so far ahead of the curve.
It's disgusting.
It's crazy disgusting. And I tell, like, my best friend Mike, I mean, he's a teacher and he has a nice salary. He makes good money from the state of New York. But I'll tell you what, it's his crypto that's going to save his ass.
100%. Not that pension. That shit don't exist. Yeah. All these guys that I've been working with for the past 15 years are going to learn that they've been morons the entire time. And they think they're educated and astute and ahead of the game. And they've been doing it right. And little do they know, they've just been playing the game that they've been told to play. And this is why I am apart from Wall Street. People have always asked me, why don't you try to onboard Wall Street? For what? If they were smart like me, they would be telling you what I'm telling you. You wouldn't need me. Wall Street doesn't care because Wall Street thinks they got it figured out. Until those people realize that they don't got anything figured out and somebody else has to come and save them, which there is nobody to come and save them, only then, when things fully spin out of control and nothing makes sense, will people understand that they're screwed. Just the way it works. It's always that way. I mean, Argentina, Venezuela. I mean, we can go down the list. Chile. We can go down the list. It's a long list. It's not like it's even out of this world. It happens every other year. I mean, this is insane. The fact that people think that currency reserve status is not a double-edged sword is insane. That's exactly what that is.
It's going to get people. I don't want to scare people, but I wanted you to be prepared.
Yeah, it's about preparing people. It's definitely not about scaring people.
Yeah.
Because I'm not being an alarmist. I'm being a fact relayer. Like, look at these countries that have failed because of their currency and the problems that led up to them. They seem oddly familiar.
Yep. Now Turkey's going through it.
Oh, Turkey's been going through it since what, 1990? I mean, they're persistently going through it.
It just keeps getting worse and worse every year with our
That's
inflation.
right.
And don't think that the U.S. can't go through the same thing.
It's been going through it. This is what people do not understand. Look, I don't know why people are this fucking dumb. Just because you were not alive when shit cost 10 cents don't mean it doesn't make sense today. Like, the fact that shit cost 10 cents 100 years ago and it costs $100 now means we are going through it. You dumb fucks. Because people want to choose what they think makes sense. Nah, man. Look at the fucking math. There is no timeline on that shit. The currency is zero now because everybody along the way was too stupid to call it out. I'm calling it out, bitch. Listen. It's not a secret. It's in your face. And it's crazy that people like to pretend it's not in their faces. But guess what? When your ass is wheelbarrowing fucking fiat, you're going to wish you listened.
Yeah, it's one thing I was been talking about for months is the whole thing that's going on with Saudi Arabia and Russia and China, India, the BRICS coming out with their own digital currency is going to be backed with hard assets, not just gold, but oil,
crypto.
It's going to have everything back in it.
Yeah.
Anything that has value.
People are unaware. They have no interest in educating themselves.
And so where do you think good money is going to go? Good money is going to go that way. And then you're getting paid in fiat, which has no backing whatsoever. People like to say, "Oh, the U.S. has the military back in the U.S. dollar." Does it? Does it really?
Don't even get me started on that stupid ass comment.
I hate that. That's a meme to me now.
It's been a meme. It's been a meme since motherfuckers didn't know how to do math because that should never matter. If that was the case, why are we paying 10 times more for houses? Why are we paying 10 times more for petroleum? Why are we paying 10 times more for everything? People need to wake the fuck up and stop believing lies. Mm-hmm. Plainly put, because when you do the math, that's what it is shown. And in fact, don't even take my word for it. Go look at the Fed's data. They don't even hide the lies from you because they're that dumb. They think you're that dumb. They do. But in fact, they're the ones that are that dumb to leave the data there.
It's like crypto, not even new. I wouldn't say newbies, but somebody who's been in crypto and they listen to people like us over the course of like 6 months. They know more about what's happening to the crypto or to the real world
100%.
Than the people in the Fed. You listen to Janet Yellen, you're like, what did she just say? You're like, this is ridiculous.
Insane. And that's what people need to realize, right? The people that are quote unquote guiding the system are there to wreck it. Mm-hmm. You can't believe anybody with any kind of education is that dumb. And this is what people choose to be. I mean, I remember when I used to think that, right? I used to think that these people were that incompetent. And nah, they're not. They literally know what they're doing and they're doing it on purpose. Mm-hmm. They're not afraid of you. They know you don't care. They know you're listening to their every word.
And they're not on our team.
And they're not on our team at all.
George Carlin was telling us years ago, 20, 30 years ago, George Carlin 100%. Was telling us.
Yeah, I remember watching that dude when I was a kid, not really understanding, but understanding because I could see what he was saying. But I was too young to process all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the shit was funny.
My mom loved George Carlin when I was, as a kid. She loved him. She thought he was, I wasn't allowed to watch him because he swore too much and stuff.
Of course, of course.
But
besides that, he was good to go.
He was good to go.
Yeah, it's funny how certain things impact us a certain way, not realizing how certain things are going to take us down certain paths. Like, I know for a fact me growing up in New York is instrumental in how I view the world and all the lies that come from it. Mm-hmm. Because I remember strictly walking around, and I still do it today, looking at certain buildings and realizing they look nothing like other buildings. And that alone is a big ass lie that nobody wants to address. And that's their own problem. because I do my own research, and this is why I'm knowledgeable, and I know, and I speak with confidence, and not only that, I show and prove, right? And that's why nobody even bothers to debate me. There's nothing to debate.
So you don't believe what we were taught in school?
Not at all. No, everything is a lie.
Absolutely, man.
I'm gonna emphatically say,
high five.
Every single item that you were taught is a lie. Period.
Absolutely.
Round, earth, whatever you name it, all of it is a lie, because the objective is for you to stay.
3 buildings, 2 planes.
Everything. Remember the Pentagon?
Yeah. Oh, very well.
Where's that plane at?
It's not there.
Where's that plane in Pennsylvania? What about the plane that fell in Pennsylvania? I mean, there wasn't even a plane there either.
No. For you guys who do not know, I did get my minor in aircraft mishap investigation. So,
how about that?
There was no parts. Planes don't do that. They don't disintegrate. Aluminum does not disintegrate.
Apparently, they did on that day.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you something else. That
With
maybe
four planes. 4 planes.
4 planes that were CGI generated. And here's the thing. I specifically have been watching buildings get demolished since I was like 5 on TV.
Yeah, if you're in the city, for sure, right?
I mean, it was like every weekend they would just show buildings getting blown. I don't know what the hell it was. I don't remember. I don't see it anymore. I don't watch TV, but I know when I was a kid, every weekend, Saturday, Sunday morning, I can't remember which one it was, there would be buildings getting demolished on TV. So you would see them getting brought down. So you know what it looks like. You know what it looks like. And that's exactly what 9/11 was. A bunch of buildings that were blown up and brought down. There wasn't no planes hitting them. Where the fucking debris at? Where's the plane debris? I mean, yo.
There wasn't any.
There wasn't any. And you heard people talking about this on TV the same day. Yeah. But they cut all that out forever. You know, I remember, I'm never going to forget this because I was watching this on TV. And I saw this live. I'm never going to forget.
You know what's funny is a lot of people are watching BBC. Are younger. A lot of people are watching are younger. They weren't even alive or they were too young at that time, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Experienced it. We lived through that moment, right?
That's so crazy. I don't even realize I'm that old, and I am.
Yeah, we're getting old, man.
Yeah, holy shit. You young punks better listen up.
I mean, I was working at Sprint PCS. I was home in Rochester. I just got out of the Navy, and I got called to the back room. They're like, "Oh my God, plane hit the towers." I'm like, "What?" And that's how I saw it. And so we had all the customers. Everyone came in the back room. We watched it for an hour, but that was my experience. And I started getting phone calls. And the weirdest thing for me was that everybody that called me, because I was living in Columbus, Ohio, part-time. I was going back and forth to Rochester. Okay. And all my friends in Columbus were calling me like, "Oh, Randy, are you okay?" I'm like, "What? I'm 5 hours away."
Yeah. I'm trying to understand the line of questioning. Like, why wouldn't you be okay?
People from New York understand, but people from the rest of the country, they say, "Yeah, I'm in New York." They don't understand that Rochester is 5 hours from New York.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, I get that. States, yeah, I get that.
So, and the other thing was the calls that I got over the next couple of weeks were, "Randy, are you gonna go back into the military?" I'm like, right. I had just gotten out 6 months earlier. I mean, why would I be going back in? And
they don't understand though. I mean, they think that shit is real.
No. I completed my my reserve and my active duty service. Nice. I'm like, thank you. I'm out. I'm not going back in. It was just a really bizarre time.
It was. I couldn't have met. At the time, I was 16, turning 17. I think I was super young.
Pretty young. Wow.
Yeah, I was super young.
I got you by 10 years.
Yeah, and I still ended up joining the military after that. Well, that's the crazy thing. I didn't connect those dots as I was doing it because my life was just crazy at the time. I had really no choice in my mind but to do something that drastic, But it wasn't because of 9/11. Like, that was a crazy thing. I remember when we were in boot camp, at the time they were asking, "Did you join because of 9/11?" Like, they wanted to know how brainwashed you were, basically. And I didn't join because of that, so I didn't say I did, right? But then you saw the guys that were saying, yeah, like they rounded them up and did some shit with them. I don't know what they did with them cats. But it's like, why are you lying to yourself? You over here In Fort Knox, you ain't even got a combat MOS, brother. You ain't joined because of 9/11. Get the fuck out of here. But these are the tricks they play on people to get them to believe the propaganda, because that's what it's always about. It's always about the propaganda and getting people to buy into it so that their lies sell, so that they can accomplish their goals. I mean, look how hard they've been trying to get the country de-weaponized, and they cannot accomplish that goal, and they're never going to be able to.
Not in our lifetimes.
Not in our lifetimes. I don't even think in our kids' lifetimes. I mean,
I hope so.
the quantity of brainwashing that has to occur is too great.
This is funny. You ask about Building 7 falling down, you're a conspiracy theorist with low IQ test. That's so true. Even back then, you know, even when the news announced that the building fell and it didn't fall for another 2 hours.
Right. That's
They had their script, but they got too far ahead.
Yeah. They literally did that. And it's baffling that people just like you still see the video like riding around. You know, like it's not even hidden. It's in your face. You know, and that's kind of what's crazy is how do we sit here and accept all these lies? I mean, it's still happening today. They're still trying to flex this fake Rona shit again. And it's like, yo, you got to be out your mind to accept this as anything valid. Like, they just lied to you for 3 years. It just disappeared, and now they're lying again, and you're going to accept it again? I cannot even respect you. You're a fucking moron.
And that's why I think I got banned on multiple social networks, because I was so up to here with the BS. And when this last one came out, I was like, you guys, I cannot believe you're falling for this again. Like, are you freaking idiots?
and you know what? I'm going to continue to call these people fucking morons, because that's what they are. Like, I can't help it. You don't matter. You're just in the way, and I cannot wait for you to die because you're too stupid.
Wales, man, don't get me banned on YouTube,
bro.
too.
I'm sorry, but they're doing it to themselves. They're opting. They're choosing to kill themselves.
Oh, it was all voluntary, for sure.
It's all voluntary.
That's why they had to sign for it, right? I've never had to sign for immunization in my life, but these people did.
Waiver.
Yeah.
You must sign to ride this ride. Exactly. I mean, yo, how do we find ourselves in a space where we go from not being able to discuss our medical history to fuck your medical history? That's public information.
Yeah. I'm a nurse, right? I was a Navy corpsman and a nurse.
Oh, well, then you go. I don't even got to tell you. You know the drill.
I was an EMT. I had HIPAA. HIPAA is a big rule.
Huge rule up until 2019, apparently.
Yeah. Your privacy is more important than anything. At least it was until 2019.
It was until 2020, and everybody.
Your neighbor can know all of your personal information. I'm like, what?
Right.
Wait, what's going on here? I was taught for 30 years that it wasn't supposed to be like this. Correct.
And I still reference HIPAA anytime at work. Yo, I work on Wall Street. Them motherfuckers had to kiss my ass. They had to. I wish I was Randy. I tell you, Randy, I was working from home for 2 years. Motherfucking, it was like I was doing jail time. They wouldn't let me come back to the office because what was their objective? The entire time, their objective was to get you to commit to killing yourself. Now, how did they do that? They did that by segregating you from the population as best as they could. That's how they did it. Mm-hmm. There's no difference between you being locked down in a shoe on an island in some jail and you being locked in your home every day for years on end with nothing else to do. There's no difference. And people don't understand that because they think they're free. But they're already slaves before that even happened. Because it's all in your mental. Mm-hmm. If you think somebody has authority over you and how you live and you're already a slave, you have no freedom, period. And that's pretty much everybody. Because everybody's looking for somebody to tell them what to do. I can't even relate with people like that. I don't think like that. I don't give a fuck what some old dude gives a fuck about what I'm doing. It ain't my. That's your problem, bro. Have a nice life.
Yeah, I'm totally with you.
Not my problem.
You know, we instead of continuing to be locked down here in Panama, we escaped and went to Mexico. I didn't like taking my son out on a Sunday, and you weren't allowed to go out on Sundays in Panama at all. Couldn't even go for a walk. And my 2-year-old, he was 2 years old at the time, and I took him out for a walk. And I guess the rent-a-cops, they didn't like the fact that I was out walking about in our private neighborhood, gated neighborhood.
Wow.
They called the real cops on me. The real cops came through the front gate, rolled up to me, got out of their car with their hands on their pistols, and they're like, "What are you doing outside?" Yelling at me in Spanish. They're like, "Graba tu niño," and go back to your house, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, all right, I see how this is going. I went home. The airport was opening in 2 weeks. This is September 2020. Yeah, September 2020. I bought tickets to Mexico, and we left. We escaped for 7 months. We wouldn't play on the beach for 7 months. I wasn't about to be locked down anymore. I said, enough of this. Panama, you just lost your mind.
Yeah,
but it only really affected the city. Outside the city, people were living the life, man. They're going fishing. Wow. They were hanging out in the farms. They were living it up. But the people in the city, oh boy, it was bad.
How about that?
Yeah, I lived in a private neighborhood, and they had CCTV cameras everywhere. If you live in a neighborhood and they have CCTV cameras all over your neighborhood, that's a prison. That's not a neighborhood.
That's not a neighborhood, and that's everywhere in America.
Yeah, that's how my neighborhood was. I said, I never want to live like that again.
Mm-hmm. That's most places, and that's the thing, man. People, no matter where they go, have to stand up. It's just not optional anymore. I mean, people are out here running all over the world thinking they're gonna escape this and that and the other. Like, you look like a clown because it's always gonna follow you. There is no escape. Period. Stop lying to yourself. Stop thinking that there's something out there that isn't. This is exactly why communism happened. The Holodomor happened. All these fucking horrible events happen because people are too busy with their fucking head up their ass. There's no two ways about it. That's exactly what does people in.
You know what scared me growing up? I had a good friend. His name was Ran. He was one of the boat people from Escape the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he watched his whole family get murdered in front of him.
I already know.
And the only one person survived, and it was his sister. And they ended up getting out through Vietnam to Thailand, and somehow they ended up in the U.S. And I grew up with them, played volleyball together, high school and all that. And I'll never forget those stories that you told me about Pol Pot. And I know a lot of people in the chat probably have no freaking idea what I'm talking about.
No idea. Yeah.
But go look up The Killing Fields. There's a good movie about it called The Killing Fields.
I mean, that dude must have killed more than
millions.
Yeah.
Anybody who had an education. All they wanted were people that did not have an education.
Yeah, they did the Africa over there.
It's crazy.
That's what they did, yeah, man. They wiped out anybody with any semblance of thought from that country.
Lined them all up. People had to dig their own ditches and shot them all.
Yeah. And the question is, why do you think it can't happen here?
Yeah.
People
Second Canada says 6 million people they killed.
6 million. There you go. And look at Canada. Canada is a great example.
Yeah. Canada's out of control.
Ridiculously out of control.
All the Western, it's funny. Isn't it bizarre how all of the Commonwealth countries were the ones that got it the worst?
No, it wasn't bizarre to me. It was obviously coming that way. Look at Italy and all these countries where, what do? Oh, government is doing everything for me. I don't have to think. Germany, Europe in general is that. All them Scandinavian countries, they're that. The U.S. wants to be a model of that bullshit. That's why the whole narrative was, do what China's doing. Let's suck China's dick.
Yeah.
That was the fucking narrative the entire time. And it was baffling to me that America, the quote-unquote leader of the world, quote-unquote leader of the free world, my ass, had the... I tell you, Randy, as a person that understood what he was saying when he joined the military and read that oath out loud, I know this is complete mutiny, treason, sedition, and everything.
And domestic.
Yeah.
I'll never forget those words.
Never. So the fact that I have to sit here and explain myself to clowns that don't do a fucking thing about anything as if they have a clue is exactly why I don't respect so many people at large, because you don't deserve any respect when you think your opinion matters when you don't know a fucking thing about anything.
Yeah, it's really scary. All you have to do is start bringing up a couple subjects, and if people don't know the basics of a couple subjects, you're like, yeah, move on.
That's right.
You know, and it was funny. This conversation on Sunday, I'd never met this gentleman named Mark, and he's been in Panama 13 years. I've been here 12, and he made a comment about the juice, right? and I said, "There's no way in hell we're getting that shit." He looked at me and said, "Oh, Randy, you're woke. I can get along with you." And then the whole rest of the afternoon, it was just like
it was a party.
Yeah, oh, we had a good old time. There was like six adults there. We just going off. It was wonderful.
Congrats, man. It's hard.
A couple of the wives though were like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, you already know. Women are always trying to be risk averse, but they be all right. That's why the men are around, bro.
Look, man, I'm doing like this. Can't even freaking move I started working out again. I'm in that weightlifting phase where shit, dude, my arms are killing me.
Yeah.
can't lift them. Oh man,
gotta do it, man.
All right, so I know there's people here that want to hear crypto stuff. So
all right, let's do the crypto.
Let's talk a little bit about crypto. First thing I want to bring up, and I know you know what I'm talking about. When we sacrificed last year or two years ago, when we sacrificed, I think PulseX was right around 30 cents. Or Hex was right around 30 cents. And I believe it was between 12 and 15 cents when we did PulseChain. So if we would have kept our Hex, we'd be way down right now.
100%. Yep.
But due to the fact that we sacrificed, we kept that economic energy in a much better state than if we would have just kept it in Hex. And so anybody right now who is complaining, I'm laughing.
All the way to the bank.
I'm like, you guys, you kept your economic energy. If you would have done PulseChain, you'd actually probably be up a little bit right now, 20, 30, or maybe a couple 100%, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just these people have such short-sightedness. They don't understand math at all. And I know your big thing is math. So did you actually do any numbers on that? Have you personally?
Well, check this out. When PulseChain launched, everybody was asking, what's your strategy? Everybody was talking about strategy and all this bullshit when nobody had any fucking clue what was going to be what. But apparently everybody had these strategies worked out that I don't know what they're doing with them now, but clearly they're not doing anything because all they're doing is crying and complaining.
Oh, man. Jeez, it's annoying.
It's ridiculous. So what I ended up doing is once I realized what the farms and the pools were, or the pools, because we didn't have farms at first, I was like, oh, okay, so we got all crypto here, not bullshit farms. That was clue number one. And you're not, pools, and you're not going to really hear me talking about this stuff a lot. I'm only talking about it here because people are asking. Yeah. But I only talk about hex shit, right? Because people don't even bother to learn that. So what's the point of me even explaining anything else? That's my whole frame of thought. So that's why I don't talk about anything, not like Coza, not Hadron, nothing, because you don't even get hex. Why are you even? What? There is nothing else for you.
Why are you going down deeper into a hole when you haven't even started with the
exactly.
Ground?
Right. Exactly. So everybody out here thinking that they need to be going up, like, good luck, because you're not gonna make it. Period. So back to this. The thing launches. I see the farms, and I see, well, it's only our stuff here. Great. I'll provide liquidity, because where is the impermanent loss when all you're doing is providing liquidity to actual cryptos, not the bullshit like on fucking BNC or whatever those crap fucking chains are that you cocksuckers like to play with.
BSC, yeah. BSC.
Whatever, bro. All that fake fool shit that don't pay the bills. You get lucky when one lick, congrats. But try that shit a few times to see how it works out. It's not. A lot of people lose money in crypto because if you don't know how to navigate the minefield, you're gonna blow yourself up. And that's why I speak, to all the new folks out here. I'm talking strictly to people that are new. If you think you know what you're doing, congrats. I hope you don't run into a fucking glory hole that's not for your dick. Because guess what? You're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose it. That's exactly how it works, bro. Randy, I don't gotta tell you, you've been around these crypto streets playing these games a whole lot longer than me.
But I've been way more conservative than the average degen. So I've
that's the
actually
thing.
saved my ass.
Yeah, but that's the thing, Randy. You understand that you have to be conservative, that you can't be out here pissing in the wind.
Yeah.
That's critical because everybody else is not operating with discipline. This is exactly why I do not promote any of that stuff. And by promote, I mean even discuss it. Because if you give people any bright ideas, all they do is shoot themselves in the foot. Because they won't even learn the basics. So why are we talking about anything advanced? You don't need to hear it. You're just going to chop yourself up and regret the day that you even stepped into the arena. Because what people do not understand is that when you are interacting in markets and you're attempting to make money, there are professionals here that actually know what the fuck they're doing. So are you stepping onto the NFL field in an NFL game with no pads on, thinking you're going to play defensive back against Michael Irvin? Like, you're a moron if you think you're going to do that, because you're not. But this is what people think they're going to step into Wall Street and do, because I did it. As people think they're going to step into crypto and do. And you're not. You're playing yourself. Learn the rules to the game so that you can actually then proceed to play. Because only then will you find success.
Yep. And I'm telling everyone that I don't always say just hacks. I also like eHex. I also like Maximus DAO. I don't care what chain you pick. It's fine with me. I don't have a dog in the fight for the eHex, pHex.
It's just moronic in my opinion, and that's why I railed against it so hard. Who the fuck are you to determine which one wins? Nobody is. Shut the fuck up.
It's wherever the economic energy goes. That's how it works.
Period. I don't know why that's rocket science. I mean, people are fucking retarded, bro. I don't.
Yeah, I actually didn't get much into that fight because I didn't care. I was like, this is a dumb fight, and it seems like we're wasting our time fighting amongst each other over something stupid when we could be providing quality value to the community.
You would think, but some people find it well within their, I guess, ability to think that they can flex their opinion on others as if it's some type of fact.
Yeah. One thing we do have an issue with, and I think it's because crypto in general is a male-dominated group, and I think we have an issue with their egos. And our egos get in the way, and we want to be seen, we want to be liked, we want to be some people want to be loved by RH. That's fine with me, but that's not my cup of tea. But that's just how it is, and people like adoration. And
I personally cannot relate. Could give two fucks who likes me. Not here for that shit.
We know it, Wales. We know.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, how is that going to help you? It's not. Liking me is not going to make a difference in your life. Listening to the information I'm providing, which ain't even mine, which is not my opinion, which is not anything to do with me, that is what people need to focus on. But people are so self-interested in these ideas and illusions of grandeur that are so entirely irrelevant that they lose sight of why the fuck they're even here in the first place.
Yeah, I have this idea, my mom taught me this a long time ago about your energy. The energy you put out is what's going to bring you your tribe. And I totally believe that. And that's how it's happened to me in my life. And it seems like every time I go hang out with somebody, there are people I jive with. I never met the person before. Like, hey, you want to go have dinner? I'm flying. I'm in town. I go hang out with them. Like, holy crap! It's like you're a brother from another mother. It's like
just energy, man. I agree with you. The same thing happens to me. Same thing happens to me because you're not out here just trying to be a bad dude. Like, we're out here genuinely trying to help people. I mean, and I don't think people really understand how hard that is. I mean, you got people out here calling me a scammer and all this shit. Like, they call me that. Yeah. Well, all I do is give the alpha away. Just because you're too stupid to understand ain't my fault, bro. It's crazy, right? Imagine
you're just
that.
Trying to get people to see the better benefits of hacks, and I can't fault you for that. You've been on the same kick since I heard you first talk.
Day one. It's never changed. Never changed.
Your soapbox has not changed. And it's just like, wake up, people, buy hacks, stake hacks, and earn that yield. That's all you've ever told people to do. The rest
is not rocket science.
Yeah. Yeah, the rest is simple. Just
Mhm.
we just make that money from the yield, and if you want to, you can put new capital in and diversify into other assets. But you better have your T shares ready, because without those T shares, you're gonna have a hard time. Because it's hard to hold things if you don't have them staked.
That's right. Because you see a little pump, peace.
Yeah.
And then 200, 300, 500x later, you like, what the fuck was I thinking? Damn.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what happens. That's why lockup periods are so important.
100%. I mean, that's exactly why Hex stands apart from everything else, always will. And that's why the entire space hates it, because it eats their lunch. They don't want people understanding that there is a shortcut. That's like literally the dumbest question ever.
Yeah, exactly.
And let me tell you why. Do you like white gold, rose gold, or regular gold?
Come on, Tofu. Get with the program, man.
Yeah, right? Like, that's why that's a dumb question. How do you pick the best out of the best? Good luck. Let me know how you figure it out.
Yeah, I'm pretty, as long as my my bag is 90% RH, I'm good. I feel really comfortable having 90% RH products. Then
That's the way
I go other ways.
That's the way I would label it. If anybody had to ask me like generically, that's the best way to go about it. I mean, you can't go wrong with crypto. Anything else is not crypto. It's just pretending to be. And I remember when I first said that, a lot of people didn't like that in the community. They really hated the fact that I said everything outside of Hex is not a crypto. Well, guess the fuck what? Who was right? Oh, me. Oh, how about that? Well, how do you know? Oh, that bear market showed you, motherfucker. That's how I know. Because bear markets always show and prove.
Oh, they're brutal too. It's painful if you don't listen.
Aren't they? Very. And that's exactly why my soapbox only grows taller. Because whales don't gotta lie. It ain't my information. It's just there. And people don't really want to accept that. They want to think that whatever they can drum up in their heads is what's what. And it's not. I'm sorry. You got to come to terms with the fact that somebody beat you at creating a financial asset that is the best. And that's RH. And there's nothing wrong with that. You should be okay with not having to do mad work. I don't know why people think they got to like find this thing that's just not out there. Like, Hex is already here. Until the next Hex comes around, buy, stake, and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been simple for me. It's been simple for day one. I still got, I'm still a happy dolphin. I've got my dolphin on 2 chains now, actually on 4 chains. It's nice every day, those paydays. And you just look at it and, you do if it's at 7 hex per day or 7 hex per T-share per day, man, I do the math in my head. That's a lot of freaking hex. Right now, it's not a lot of money like it was, but it doesn't matter. I don't care about
you know what's funny? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little secret about me. I smile more when crypto prices are low in fiat terms than when they're high.
Good.
Because we play the yield game.
Playing the yield game all day long. People don't understand it.
So we're buying the dip every day.
And PulseX is buying and burning way faster when the price is low than it does when it's high. People don't understand that.
No, they don't understand much.
Yeah. So keep the price down low for 6 months, and maybe a third of all PulseX can be gone.
Can you imagine that? Holy fuck. Yo, let's talk about this little so-called fee mistake. Now, let me ask you this, Randy.
Yeah.
Have you ever known RH to make mistakes?
It's a weird one, and
that's a yes or no question.
No.
Thank you.
But the bridge, I told my group, my Patreon, I'm like, guys, I mean, I love RH, but I think he did the bridge, the slow drip on purpose. So he wouldn't get that 10x pump, and then they take all that liquidity out and dump. And I said, man, that was a genius play if that's what really went on. Well, so why wouldn't the PulseX thing? That could have been an easy one to do too. And he knew that most of us would be forgiving. And shit, that much was burned. Okay.
Forgiving. This is basic math. How are we losing?
No way we're losing. This is the best thing possible.
This is all about doing what, Randy? Delaying gratification, sir.
Yeah.
What works the best? Delaying gratification. What
Rick
provides the
says he
highest?
thought about the bridge too. Yeah. I looked at that bridge and I was like, man, that thing, what? This has never happened before in the history of crypto.
Never. Never.
And it
So
would come out,
again,
and the money was coming out at like every 15 minutes. There'd be like 4 transactions that would go through every 15 minutes, like drip, 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 drip for the first like what 4 days, 5 days of the
that's
bridge.
right.
Perfect. That was the smartest thing. I don't know. Okay, it's a
I don't
conspiracy theory.
know. Well, look, I don't know if you saw. I streamed like those first few days, and I was looking at all those metrics and how all that data was coming through. And what people don't understand is how money moves. That's their biggest down. That's going to be most people's biggest downfall because they think it's supposed to be instant. They don't understand that money has to go from A to B to C to like people have to move it. It's not going to just move by itself. So to presume that there's no capital flowing when you see there is, good luck.
It's all by
That's
design.
Right. And again, if you don't know RH, I suggest you go watch his videos because you operating off of somebody else's information is your own downfall. Not even that individuals who's giving you misinformation because guess what? That's their sole objective anyway.
Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe the whole thing with the PLSX thing, okay, nobody complained about it. Nobody brought it up. With
Plenty of people complained, actually.
Oh, they did. I mean, I'm talking about
Twitter?
prior. I'm talking during the test net.
Oh, well, nobody was doing the math. Nobody, look, I'm probably one of the only people that noticed. Yeah, I've been providing liquidity who cares? I was getting my ink, so I didn't really care.
Yeah, because you're a farmer.
I understand what if I'm not getting the fees, then somebody is. And I did the math. It wasn't going to be any specific body. I could see what the data was doing. You get what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
How is it that people? I mean, damn, we just went through this with Hex. It's just people do not learn.
No. So, Sami streamed today and said the whole thing has been done on purpose by the genius RH mind to succeed. Umberto, it looks like we're agreeing on this. It's conspiracy theory, but who cares? It's going to benefit all of us in the long run. RH once again looked out for the people that care. Once again, he's looking out for all of us who care.
Correct.
And we're all going to benefit from it.
Correct. 100%. Look, I've already benefited. Let me tell you a little story. I took 25% of my whole PLS bag to LP, farm, whatever. I regret doing that. I should have done my whole bag.
I got about 70%. I got about 70% in LP right now.
Sure. And I locked away 3/4 of my bag, thinking it was a smart thing to do, and maybe it is in the future. But right now, it doesn't seem like it because man, I could have taken advantage because nobody gets it, and people still
right
don't.
Now,
get
people
it.
are pulling. People are pulling LP right now because they're pissed off. I'm like, go ahead, pull. That just means more IMC for me.
That's right. They don't get it, and that's what's the best. People in this community, if you're astute enough to understand that you have all the alpha, do yourself the favor, take care of yourself and fuck everybody else because people that are not willing to do the work, they don't deserve to be here anyway. They're not going to be here anyway. So it's only a matter of time before they disappear.
And they'll capitulate. And Richard's really good at getting people to capitulate.
100%.
And then they're gonna leave. Bye-bye, and they're gonna make the videos like, "Why did I sell my Hex?" That's good. 100%. You're gonna see stories like that, and maybe 6 months from now, 3 months, I don't know. I still think we're gonna have a nice little bullish period for PulseChain, probably in the next 3 months. So I think we'll have
I would presume so because the capital flow friction should be cleared out by then.
Yeah, absolutely. And all the other products will be launched. So you'll have your Power City, you'll have your liquid loans, you have your fiat, all this stuff will be happening. 9-inch, they'll all be up and running. And all that's going to bring new users to the chain. and hopefully
That's the
fresh
story.
capital.
I'm still not buying it, but we'll see.
We hope so. And because people go to where they could generate income, and
that's the story, bro. I didn't see him come here.
Yeah, well, we're hoping. let's
Again,
wish.
you know, I've been hearing that lie about all these side projects that try to undermine what we have going on as a community. I've heard that line so many times that I just frankly don't give a fuck. I have no respect, because what have we seen time and time again? People just lying about that, and they're just vampiring. They're not really actually trying to add value. So until I actually see that happen, could care less. That's just my stand. And you know, I never talk about projects for that reason. Because
I talk about projects all the time. We're opposites on that extreme.
But that's your thing, you know, and that's okay, bro, because I'm here streaming with you regardless. So that's not I'm not classifying you as anything. It's just what you do. It's not what I do. Right. And people always try to get me talk about projects. And it's like, it's a project, bro. Talk to me when you actually got something.
Exactly. For sure.
Because on Wall Street, ain't nobody putting no money in no bullshit. So guess what? I don't put money in no bullshit. Let me know when there's actually something, and then we can talk.
Yeah, check this out, Wales.
Never.
What the hell? All right, Wells. Well, I always keep mine to right around an hour or so.
Yes, sir. All good, man.
It was great having you on, and I hope you come back again, because
anytime, Randy, just let me know, brother.
Well, I know my crew will enjoy your talk. So thank you, everybody, for coming out. I appreciate everybody. Thank you, Wales.
My pleasure, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Peace.
Cheers.